Wait, what? So this happened. I'm Rachel Velis, and this is the podcast Hell is Not the End, although it feels like just the beginning sometimes. Is anything really the end, though? This podcast is meant to explore the limitless possibilities of one's own soul. Why do people do bad things? Why are there countless happenings beyond understanding? Why, when we are cautioned not to do something, do we just do it anyway? The definition of curiosity, a strong desire to know or learn something. There you have it. I will curiously explore why. Hell is not the end. So, we're here today with a special guest, Monique Velis Bogart. We're doing a special Halloween episode about Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker. So, Monique, tell us why you're here.
Hi. Well, I guess just to talk about my fear of everything, how it started or whatever.
Just like a fear in general?
Yeah, I guess. It started with Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, when I was about 9 years old.
So it's been stuck in your mind.
It's always been, yeah. I mean, I don't know if that started my fear of everything, but it did start so young that it stuck with me, because he was just a scary guy who was so close to us, like murdering people, so close to where we lived, where we grew up, and I just could not understand why they couldn't catch him, and he was just out there.
Yeah, and he was weird too. I feel like he didn't have an MO except to hurt people.
Yeah, there was no rhyme or reason to who he was going to kill. It could be like a 9-year-old like me, or
the
9-year-old.
Yeah.
Or 27, Yeah. It made no sense.
Man, woman, child, it didn't matter.
Yeah, and it seemed like he would kill the man, torture the man, and then rape the woman for hours and hours. He had no fear. Mm-hmm. He had no fear. He just did
Which
what
gave
he
you
wanted.
fear.
Yeah, because he was so close to us. The one was early in his murder spree. Was just on Eagle Rock Boulevard, Glassell Park. We used to ride our bikes there for baseball.
Yep.
And
all the time.
And we were young, and I don't know. I think that when I think about the 80s and how young we were, it was not a safe place for kids and women.
You were glad to get through the 80s?
I was happy to be through the 80s. But it did start my fear, though. And, I still lock my doors. I don't want to be the victim.
Yeah. It's so weird to me, too, because not even did he have, a certain individual that he targeted. He used, a variety of weapons, too. Nothing was...
Yeah.
It was, handguns, knives, a machete,
It's
a
just
tire iron, a hammer.
Whatever he could get his hands on.
Right, totally. Hey, what do you have back there in that laundry room?
Oh, look, yeah, I do see that stick over there.
Yeah.
Use that.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I feel like he had no rhyme or reason. His reign of terror lasted June 1984 to August 1985. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So obviously, what is the actual incident that you're just this is going to happen to me?
You mean with him?
Yeah.
Well, it was...
Well, if he started your fear, then, what is that one incident that got you?
Well, is that old lady in Glassell Park?
It is that one.
Well, yeah, because it was so close.
Oh, because of proximity, not the brutality, or both?
I guess both, I guess. At the time, but, I was 9 or 10 or something.
I cannot believe we played baseball at Glassell Park.
I know. And that Mom would just let us ride our bikes through frickin' Highland Park.
I know, and I totally thought about that time when we were driving by the AM/PM and that car hit me, and I was like, "What?"
I know,
and nobody stopped or anything, and I was just
have,
"Dude,
cell phones. We had nothing. We just riding our bikes through."
Yeah, and to be fair, I kicked his bumper as he drove away.
Shit. I'm sorry.
I feel like nobody cared. Oh, it's okay. It's explicit. You can.
Oh, I was like, I didn't ask
all right.
Bad words.
Yeah. No, I put bad words on there in case. Yeah. I don't usually, but I mean, if I want to, I will.
Well, and then, so I think about that a lot. And then, I don't like my kids to walk down anywhere.
I know.
I get so scared.
I'm so glad AJ drives now because he's protected.
I know. I know. Even with Riley going to Craig, I'm like, well, let me know when you get there.
Exactly. But
At
yeah,
least
so
that's a straight shot,
yeah, no, that's true. But still, like, it's it's a brutality that you have no control over whatsoever.
When I think about where we lived, it was, kind of hidden. So you really
Well,
have to
yeah, we
seek
lived
it
up
out.
on a hill, and you would have to know where we were.
Yeah, you'd have to look for it.
Yeah.
But like these people who, even when it did start, still weren't locking their doors, and he was just like so creepy.
Oh my God, so creepy. And then he got like so weirdly sick at the end, which I'm happy about. But I mean, I don't know. That's totally karma. The way
Well, and
he had that lymphoma, and he just looked like he was. He
oh,
looked
you
like
mean like in jail?
Yeah, he looked like he was dead, like a year before he died. He was so not great. You know what?
Well, yeah, good.
Well, you know what really makes me mad is that these people that brutalize and stalk, and like he didn't kill everybody, but he certainly like he got 19 death sentences, right? And he had like I'm sure what he got in trouble for, he did way more.
Oh yeah,
He had to
absolutely.
have. But I just who does that kind of stuff? How can
That's funny.
I just don't get the how he got away with it for so long and how there were so many.
Well, that's that. It's almost like every night or once a week or something like. Well, and I was a kid, so I don't know
That's how
how
I felt it
accurate
was
it is
too.
in
I
my
felt like it
brain,
was
but it
every
felt
day
like
something
there's always
happened.
on the news.
Yeah, that's how I felt too.
Every day, Glendale, Burbank,
Yeah.
Arcadia.
Uh-huh.
That's all like around us. Like, go away. Like,
Totally.
Why are you still here?
I know. That's
'Cause
why.
he can. Because he can.
Well, right, and it kind of was like he was hiding in plain sight. You know, how, like just like the Golden State Killer, where he kind of moved around a little bit, where he went to Northern California and he
Yeah.
just kind of moved around to try and not to. I'm guessing to avoid detection, right? But
I
this
don't know
dude
that
was
he-
hiding in plain sight.
I feel like, with the Golden State Killer, that's different. He was a smart dude. I don't really see Richard Ramirez as being
Smart?
that smart.
Just brutal.
Brutal and
Cruel.
he kept getting away with it. So he's like, well, I'm going to keep doing it.
Yeah, and not that this matters at all, but he did have kind of a bad upbringing.
Well, yeah, but doesn't everybody?
Well, correct, and we
It's
don't.
not easy
and
being
we
a
don't
kid.
all choose to kill or rape or
Right.
brutalize other humans.
Right.
I think I don't know, and I don't think he was smart by any chance. Oh shoot, I totally forgot my point about the stuff So he even, pretty sure he gets married.
In jail.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't
Who
they all, though?
does that?
Always. They think
Why
they're
would you
cool or
want to marry a murdering rapist?
Because there's obviously something wrong with you.
Yeah, I was going to say, what is we had to have an interview like that of somebody who thinks it. Like, no, I believe him. He's innocent. Well, he never protested innocence.
Right,
So
yeah,
it's
no.
not like that. He pled guilty to all that stuff. So it's not like. So, but it makes me wonder the people that flock to you in the prison. Because he's available.
Well, and
why do you care?
And he, my thought goes to, he's not even good looking.
No.
He's seriously ugly.
He
I
looks like
hate
something
being so
stuck to the
mean,
bottom
but
of your shoe.
He's
Ugh.
nasty.
He's gross.
Ew. And and a lot of those, I guess it was maybe the people who got away from him. They would talk about how smelly he was
Yeah.
and how nasty he was, and I just can't even imagine. And then he goes to jail, and there's creepy women who are like, oh my god, I'm gonna marry you, I love you so much.
What? Maybe he took showers in prison. Maybe he smelled less
Yeah.
bad.
But they couldn't even get to him. That's it.
Oh, yeah, totally.
You're famous, make me famous.
Yeah. Would you
Well-
want to be known for somebody who married a murderer and a rapist and someone who's just
Well,
gross?
I guess, why would you do it?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking. I feel
Do
like
you
when
remember, I tell this story to my kids that, when we were in elementary school, there was a girl with the last name Ramirez in my class.
Oh, yeah, and you're afraid of her?
And I was all like,
You're not related, are you?
Like if she came near me, I would like bypass. I would like run, maybe trip over someone to get away from her. That's
Did you ever
because
tell?
I didn't know.
Did you ever tell mom?
Mom?
Because maybe she would have been like, just because they have the same last name doesn't mean it's association.
I don't know. I mean, probably not. I don't think there were a lot of things I probably told her.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Well, you have a funny story for us.
I do. So
And this all relates to the fear of that somebody else can put on you. Not to mention Richard Ramirez, but this is like a
Well-
real fear and like another thing that happened in the 80s. Go.
Well, yeah, like I said, I think the 80s were just rough.
A little messed
all
up.
around. But so we had a guy call us practically every day for years, and he would say really sexually explicit things to us. We were young, 8, 9, 10, something like that. And it was like every day for years. And, and then you mentioned that I started talking back at some point because I would just be like, what is wrong with you? Why are I'm 10 years old or something, after, it happened
I know
for
you
so
never said
long.
that, but I know you were thinking it.
Yeah. And like, I think my mom talked to him, and my mother would not, our mother would not change the phone number because she liked the phone number. And I'm like, thinking back, like, why would you torture your kids that way? Like, if my kid, like, no.
I don't know. Maybe they had this fear that, like, what else? You already have a, unhappy childhood. What else can be done to you? I'm not changing my channel. My channel.
Yeah,
my phone
I
number.
just need that phone number.
Yeah.
It's such a great phone number.
Yeah. And just so you all know, I hung up on this person. I would never talk because I was like, no.
It just was like every day. I mean,
It was. And
I think I remember, like, it sort of tapered off for a bit.
But it's scary to think about the time frame, though, because thinking back, I really don't know how long it lasted. It could have been years.
It was a couple years, but I remember towards the end it tapered off. And I remember one time he finally
Maybe it stopped
called
because
again, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?
maybe he got arrested.
Someone else?
Maybe he got arrested for obscene phone calls.
Yeah, I'm sure we weren't the only ones.
No, of course not.
Oh my god!
Did he sound like he was doing anything of quality in his life?
I know. Just calling to torture little girls.
I have
saying
nothing
mean
better to
things.
do. Blah blah blah.
Oh my god, it was terrible. So yeah, that all happened kind of around the same time. So yeah, it makes total sense that I was afraid of the dark. Enter Friday the 13th.
Oh yeah.
All this, a lot of things happened around that age for us, and it's just like,
No, totally. And you take like a stalker, psycho killer in this environment that just kind of kills whoever they want.
Yeah.
And tortures
And no one can
whoever they
stop
want.
him.
Yeah. Yeah. And so like these movies are portraying what you thought was happening in real life too. Yeah. When did Friday the 13th, like 84, something like that?
yeah,
82,
I feel like
84?
it was all
Something.
around this.
It did feel like it was the same time. Yeah, but,
But we didn't. I guess we didn't think it was anything weird. Mm-hmm. It was just how it was. And then
Well-
come to find out, a lot of people don't grow up that way.
it's weird, right? Oh my God. That's so weird. And then like, there was that one time we went away for camp to Tehachapi for like a week.
Yeah.
And do you remember that it freaked you out? So you went to the infirmary because you didn't want to deal with other people?
Well, no, but also.
Or were you
there
afraid that Jason
reasons.
was going to get you?
There were reasons because, like, I don't know if you remember, but like 2 or 3 of the counselors, all like within like the first day, I think it was like 4-day thing or something. They all had things happen. Remember the slip and slide guy?
No. I still have nightmares about that.
And then like I remember one of the teachers like.
I was just going to say, I
broke
totally
her arm
remember
or
the
something.
slip and slide. Who puts it that close to like a sprinkler system? So this counselor, how old was this guy? He went down the slip and slide,
We were kids, so.
and the sprinkler guts him in the side, and he's just
His leg.
bleeding.
The fat, like his innards was
Yeah.
out. It
And he was like a fit guy too. So
Yeah,
it's
I
like
remember
it's not like it got anything, but I mean like he was bleeding in front of us. That was our camp experience, bleeding in front of us, a camp counselor.
darkness and night and camping, especially when I was a kid, was rough.
Yeah.
Didn't happen often, thankfully.
Yeah.
But, Corey asked me too, and this is really beside the point. She's like, where were you when the Challenger exploded? And I was like, oh, I was at this weird camp. And we were all standing in the cafeteria watching, and we were like, what? Is this a joke? And she said that one of her teachers said to her that every person will remember where they were when the Challenger exploded and where they were when
9/11.
9/11. Yeah.
Totally. I remember.
So she's learning about these things. But anyway.
JFK was before our time, so we wouldn't remember where we were
I did
because
not
we weren't
remember that, for
existing
sure.
then.
I see the picture a lot, though.
I know, but people talk about that too, like in movies and stuff, whatever. But yeah, but how horrifying is it the one time you go away to camp? And do you remember the bus broke
That
down
was
for like 4 hours
tragedy. Yes.
before?
And it was hot and sticky and scary because I didn't know where we were going.
Right.
I
I
know
know.
my mom would do that to me.
I know, right? So we go away that's like a couple hours away, but it's even longer because you get stuck. And then you watch all these things happen to camp counselors that only happen in movies, or so you think.
Friday the 13th.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, no wonder you were afraid of that movie for so long.
No.
She likes the remake, though, people.
Well, I realize when you're 10 years old, it seems scary, but when you're 30 something, it's not as scary.
Yeah. I remember just staring at him, though. He was like in front of me, and I was like, ugh.
He was scary. Our parents were great.
And I was like, I don't think you have enough Band-Aids for that.
Oh, you mean the counselor?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, that was, yeah.
That was, I was right in front of him. I was horrified.
That was, oh, man, that was nasty.
And weren't all your letters home to Mom? Pick me up now.
Yes, I want to go home.
Pick me up, even though, didn't get there that fast, but...
I know, they probably got there after we got back.
Yeah. So that week went on for 4 weeks. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was funny. Yeah, so...
So all this stuff
There
has
you go.
contributed to this horrific fear in your life.
Yeah. I mean, it started with him. It started with Richard Ramirez.
I feel like it did. That's why I felt like it was so important to do this episode.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
Definitely started with him, and, well, it hasn't ended, so...
Well, no.
I'm a little bit more... I'm not as scared anymore. I just know my surroundings.
Yeah.
And I try to teach my kids to know their surroundings, pay attention, because, where we live, people think that things can't happen. And I'm like, well, it could eventually, and, just don't be the victim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, totally. Knowing your surroundings is very important. It always has been. Lock your doors when you can. Obviously, don't lock the people out of your life. Not like that. But
Yeah, no.
I didn't mean it like that. But I have to also mention this one story where Monique would want to walk outside at night, but she's a nightmare to walk with. Even if we had lights, she'd be like every night, "What's that? What's that? What's that?" And this went on like every day, like when we lived in.
Yeah, when we lived close.
Yeah, and it was always hilarious to me because I'm like, why are we walking? Why do you want to walk? Like you're afraid of everything. But yeah, and that has been like 20 years, so like she's gotten over that a little bit.
Yeah, I'm a lot better.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that is good. Dude, what else? I feel like this feels like therapy. So, what else did you want to say about not even so much Richard Ramirez, even though that was like our focus, but like, what else do you think contributed to this fear? Like, it's like, are you just now, or does it just feel like self-awareness now? Maybe you needed to go through that fear to like become like, dude, I'm gonna be fine as long as I watch my surroundings and know everything. Like, I mean, how do you feel about this fear now?
Well, obviously, it's not as bad. Maybe it contributed to me like not being as scared anymore. Darkness, I'm good because I can walk my dogs in the dark.
Mm-hmm. By yourself?
Yeah, but like I don't. But then also, since there was a bear in our driveway a couple weeks ago, I'm afraid to go
We
out
live
at
in the
night.
wildlife. We have wild animals. Okay.
I was like, okay. So we still have the ring though. So I'm like,
Oh
if
yeah,
anything
right.
happens to me, it'll be on camera.
Yeah. When you said the ring, that made me think of the movie and how you,
Oh,
that
no,
one time you
hated
freaked
that
out
one.
when
Oh
Riley
my
was a baby.
God.
Hilarious for
So
me.
that fear went for a long, long time. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, so um, definitely helped me just to know my surroundings and just know that not everything out there is out to get me.
That's true. You have to find some kind of comfort and quality of life and not let
Yeah.
your life be run by fear. Doesn't mean we're not curious about this stuff, or else, we wouldn't even be talking about this.
Well, and there's kind of a funny thing there. The court, like, my fear is not like gone to my kids. Like, they're like, oh my god, mom. But there's one thing, like I always say, if I call and they don't answer, I think you're dead. So please call me back or pick up an answer. And so Corey has done that with her friends now. She told me the other day, she's like, thanks, Mom, because my friend didn't call me back, and I said to him, I thought you were dead.
Well, do you have to go right to you're dead?
I just,
Be like, hey, I'm worried.
hey, this is how I roll.
Okay.
So, yeah, so, do we have more time? So,
Okay, so not really like delving into. Let's go back to Richard Ramirez.
yeah.
Not like we're delving into his. I don't want to create any sympathy for him because he had such a horrible childhood, and like you said, who didn't? But like, what do you find the most fascinating about the story? I feel like the capture is.
Well, and that's what I was going to say if we talk about the capture, because he still thought he was going to get away. And, it's so funny that I guess, like, these women saw him and they were like, whoa, I think that's him.
Yeah.
And they started screaming, and everyone, people started hearing, and everyone started running. He tried to run, but
Yeah, almost like a vigilante situation, right? Where like the people like came together as a community on this block, and they're like, no, that dude's
you're not allowed here.
he's been terrorizing. You're not
But that
allowed
was
here.
Arizona, though, too, right? Wasn't even California. Yeah, he went to visit his brother in Arizona.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm glad they were paying attention.
Another state, you mean?
Yeah, another
You're
state,
like, wait.
Arizona. Thank you.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, no, I think about. It's really hard not to. It just goes to show, and you know how like sometimes they always say like, they always make fun about how like if you have a concussion early as a child, it
Oh,
like
yeah.
like it contributes
Yeah.
to like your brain processing and there's something not right, or if you're adopted or whatever like this. None of this was his case. Like I mean, he had an older cousin that shared horrible, gory Vietnam stories and taught him how to. He described it as stealthily killing. And then he had a brother-in-law that was a peeping Tom and helped him to stalk people through windows.
But he was still like 10, 12 or something.
He was
like
young, like 13 and under. It was like 10 to 13 of this time frame because, the cousin kills his wife in front of him. He goes to jail for a touch, and
that. All right.
but he is released from not guilty by reason of insanity. But then he goes the cousin. And then he goes back and he tells him how he needs to progress in his brutalizing somebody.
Yeah.
So, but I know, but at such a young age, to being taught this stuff is really creepy. But
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, but it's
I don't.
so don't say that for sympathy. It's just, I mean, it could go either way. I
Yeah.
feel like when people are like, well, this is why, and this is why, and this is why, but maybe it was just in his brain chemistry. We don't know.
Well, I think so. Had to have been.
Well, and his father was like this drunken alcoholic, abusive alcoholic.
Well, that's another thing is like when you think back to the 70s, 80s, 60s, like those parents, they didn't care. They just did whatever they want. They treated their kids however they wanted because they could.
Well, it
You
also, well, I was going to say that's what contributes to it's like the helicopter parents nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
They don't want anything to happen. Then you got the parents that are teaching their kids to be entitled. And then we're that generation that got hit and tried not to hit our own generation.
Yeah.
So it's like, you're trying to work on that,
Yeah, you always try to. I mean, yeah, it's a choice. I mean, maybe not a conscious choice if you were abused as a kid to
Not abuse.
not abuse, but like you can keep those habits going and going and going. Like I have anger issues and but I've never hit my kid, but I've gotten mad. I pinched him once. Right? I was like, oh my God,
No
stop
wonder
crying.
they pinch me.
I know.
Jeez.
No. But yeah, it's maybe not a conscious choice to not continue a cycle of abuse, but you can work at it.
Yeah. Well, this is really important because I feel like you need to figure out. Obviously, we have fear. And this episode is the fear because we're trying to figure out where your fear came from and how it like kind of shaped you,
Well,
because
not
like
to
you
say
still
that
kind of have it.
this is like the first one I remember. Like,
Right.
Like I don't know that if there were not things ahead of time,
Okay.
before that, but
Okay.
I was younger then. Who remembers things when you're 8?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I think it's important because not only because we talk about why people do bad things all the time, right?
Sure.
And the people that are affected by the bad things, I think it's important to give them a voice too.
Yeah.
So,
Agreed.
okay, but I want to say thank you so much for coming on. So, if you guys hadn't figured out, Monique Velis Bogert is my sister, and she has been my special guest. And special thanks to her for coming on and sharing her fear with us because I think it's important.
Well, you're welcome. It's nice to talk about, actually.
Right? Like therapy. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, make sure you come back and revisit with us because what was your other topic that you thought maybe?
Oh, another one that fascinates me, but not like. I mean, they just killed their parents. So,
Oh, the Menendezes.
the Menendez brothers.
Yeah, right, okay. Well, okay, we'll say that for another time, but yeah.
Okay.
But anyways, like I said, thank you so much, and
You're welcome.
this is our special Halloween episode. I thought that the fear of Richard Ramirez, with the Night Stalker, bring on some Halloween fun. My hope is that no one has to live in fear ever. As always, I will never give up and read the signs. Thanks so much for listening. I'm Rachel Velis, and this is the podcast, Hell is Not the End.